A backyard can have a fence, plants, and patio furniture, and still feel exposed. Maybe the neighbor's windows look right into your seating area. Maybe the fence feels too low. Maybe your patio sits out in the open, and every time you sit down, it feels like you're on display. And when that happens, the backyard might be functional, but it doesn't feel relaxing. The good news is, privacy does not have to mean building a fortress, and it does not always mean screening the entire yard or spending a fortune on a massive hedge, fence, or pergola. A lot of backyard privacy comes down to a few simple design ideas: where people actually sit, where the open sightlines are, how the space is layered, and whether the yard gives you even a small sense of enclosure. So today, we're looking at backyard privacy fixes for different budgets, from simple weekend improvements to bigger design upgrades. And stick around to the end, because I'll give you one bonus privacy strategy most homeowners overlook, and in some yards, it might be the most effective option of all. Let's get into it. The first privacy fix is one of the most important. Screen the seating area first. A lot of people look at their backyard and think, I need privacy around the entire property line. And sometimes, yes, a full border screen makes sense. But in many yards, the place where privacy matters most is not the whole yard. It's the patio, the dining area, the fire pit, the bench, the spot where you actually sit, relax, talk, read, or spend time with family. That's where exposure feels the most uncomfortable. If the seating area is floating out in the middle of an open lawn with no planting, structure, or visual boundary around it, the whole backyard can feel exposed even if the edges of the property are fenced. This is why screening the seating zone first is often the smartest place to start. You are not trying to hide every square foot of the yard. You are trying to make the main living space feel more protected. At the start small level, this might mean using large containers around the patio. Tall grasses, upright shrubs, compact evergreens, or even a few well-placed planters can make a seating area feel less open. The key is placement. The containers do not need to surround the whole yard. They need to interrupt the exposed feeling where people actually sit. If one side of the patio feels especially open, start there. If the neighbor's deck looks toward your chairs, place height between that view and the seating area. If the patio feels like it is floating in the lawn, use containers to create edges. At the build-it-in level, you might create a planted bed around part of the seating area. This could include shrubs, ornamental grasses, perennials, and a defined edge that makes the patio feel like it belongs inside the garden instead of sitting on top of it. That kind of planting does more than add privacy. It makes the outdoor space feel intentional. At the transform the space level, you might combine planting with a pergola, partial screen, arbor, or built-in structure. But even then, the goal is not to close everything off. The goal is to make the seating area feel comfortable, grounded, and protected. That one shift, screening where people actually spend time, can make a backyard feel dramatically more private without trying to solve every edge of the yard at once. The second privacy fix is to break the direct sightline. Privacy problems often feel huge, but many of them come from one very specific view: a neighbor's window, a second-story deck, a side yard opening, a street view, a clear line from one patio to another. And when that view is open, it can make the entire yard feel exposed. But here's the important part. You may not need to block everything. You may just need to interrupt that one line of sight. Think of privacy less like building a wall and more like placing something in the path of the view. If the neighbor's window looks directly toward your patio, the solution might not be a full hedge along the whole fence. It might be one carefully placed vertical element. At the start small level, this could be a trellis panel, a tall container, a narrow screen, or a vertical planter placed exactly where the sightline cuts through. This is especially useful in smaller yards where there is not enough space for a big planting bed. Even a modest screen can feel surprisingly effective when it is placed in the right spot. At the build-it-in level, you might use a small ornamental tree, upright shrub, or grouped planting to soften and interrupt the view. A small tree with a canopy at the right height can be much more effective than a row of low shrubs that never reach the actual sightline. This is where understanding height matters. If the view is coming from a second-story window, a low hedge probably will not solve the problem. If the view is coming from a side fence opening, a medium shrub or trellis may be enough. At the transform the space level, you can create a layered privacy border that blocks the sightline while still feeling like a garden. This might include a small tree, evergreen shrubs, flowering shrubs, and lower planting in front. The result is not just privacy, it is depth. It gives the eye somewhere to land, and it makes the space feel more settled. This is one of the biggest privacy mistakes homeowners make. They try to solve the entire yard before identifying the exact view that is making them uncomfortable. Start with the sightline. Find the view that feels most exposed. Then screen that first. Hey guys, real quick, I wanted to let you know about a free flower bed clarity guide I created for you. If you go to the link below, you can download it for free and hopefully get a little more clarity with your flower bed planting. It's 100% free, and I'll be creating more in the near future for you as well. It's all part of my mission to help us all keep learning, keep growing, and keep getting our hands dirty. I hope it helps. As always, thanks for watching, and now, back to the video. The third privacy fix is to use layers instead of one wall. A solid fence or tall hedge can create privacy, but it can also make a yard feel flat, boxed in, or harsh. And sometimes, the more solid the screen is, the more obvious the boundary becomes. That's why layered privacy often feels better. Instead of relying on one tall wall of green, you create depth with multiple heights. A small tree, a shrub layer, ornamental grasses, perennials, ground covers, maybe a trellis or fence behind them. Each layer does a different job. The taller layer creates screening. The middle layer adds density. The lower layer softens the base. Together, they make the yard feel more private and more garden-like. At the start small level, you can create a simple version of this with containers. For example, a tall planter with grasses or upright shrubs, a medium pot with flowering plants, and a lower pot or ground level planting nearby. That small grouping can create more visual comfort than one lonely tall plant by itself. At the build-it-in level, you can create a layered bed along the exposed side of the yard. Instead of planting everything in a straight row at the same height, think front, middle, and back. Lower plants in front, medium shrubs in the middle, taller screening plants or a small tree toward the back. This gives the planting more visual weight. It also makes the privacy feel softer and more natural. At the transform the space level, you can build a mixed privacy border. This might include evergreens for year-round structure, deciduous shrubs for seasonal interest, ornamental grasses for movement, and flowering plants to make the screen feel like part of the garden. The goal is not just to block a view. The goal is to create a boundary that feels alive, layered, and intentional. A single wall can make a backyard feel closed in. Layers can make it feel protected, and that difference matters. The fourth privacy fix is to create a sense of enclosure without closing everything in. This is where privacy becomes more than just blocking views. Because sometimes a backyard is not fully exposed, but it still does not feel comfortable. The furniture is sitting in the middle of the space. The patio has no edge. The lawn stretches in every direction. There is no overhead element, no side planting, no corner, no frame. Nothing tells your brain this is a place to settle in. And when that happens, the space can feel exposed, even if nobody is actually looking in. Good backyard design often creates a sense of enclosure. Not a cage, not a wall, not a closed-off room. Just enough structure to make the space feel held. At the start small level, this could be as simple as changing the furniture arrangement. Instead of placing chairs in the most open part of the patio, angle them toward a planted edge or corner. Use a large outdoor rug to define the seating area. Add containers behind or beside the chairs. create a clear back or side to the space. These are small changes, but they can make the patio feel less like furniture floating in the yard. At the build-it-in level, you might add a curved garden bed, a defined edge, repeated plants, and a vertical accent around the seating area. This starts to turn the patio into an outdoor room. The planting does not have to be tall everywhere. Sometimes lower plants, a few medium shrubs, and one vertical feature are enough to make the area feel more grounded. At the transform the space level, you can create a true garden room effect. That might mean a pergola overhead, privacy screening on one side, layered planting around the edges, and a clear transition from the rest of the yard into the seating area. The important thing is that the space feels intentional. A private backyard is not always a backyard where every view is blocked. Sometimes it is simply a backyard where the main living area feels tucked in, framed, and protected. That is why enclosure is such a powerful design tool. It makes the yard feel calmer. It makes the seating area feel more inviting. And it helps people feel less exposed, even when the yard is still open and breathable. Now for the bonus privacy strategy, and this is one most homeowners overlook. Choose privacy plants by function, not just beauty. It is very easy to walk through a nursery, see a beautiful plant, and think, that would be perfect for privacy. But a beautiful plant is not automatically a good privacy plant. Privacy plants have a job to do, and if the plant does not match the job, it may never solve the problem. A privacy plant needs to be chosen based on mature height, mature width, density, growth habit, maintenance, and the exact view you are trying to block. For example, a plant might be beautiful but too short. It may look great in a flower bed, but it will never screen a neighbor's window. Another plant might grow quickly but become much wider than the space allows. That can create constant pruning, crowding, and frustration. Another plant might be dense in summer but lose its leaves in winter. That might be fine if you only use the backyard during warm months, but if you need year-round privacy, it may not be enough. The best privacy plant is not always the fastest growing plant. It is not always the tallest plant, and it is not always the prettiest plant at the garden center. The best privacy plant is the one that fits the space, handles the conditions, reaches the right size, and blocks the view you actually care about. That is why the first question should not be, what is a good privacy plant? The better question is, what privacy job does this plant need to do? Does it need to block a low fence? Does it need to soften a neighbor's wall? Does it need to screen a second-story window? Does it need to create a cozy backdrop behind a patio? Does it need to work in shade, dry soil, clay, wind, or harsh afternoon sun? Once you know the job, choosing plants becomes much easier, and it can save you a lot of money, time, and frustration. Because privacy is not just about adding more plants. It is about adding the right plant in the right place for the right reason. So if your backyard feels exposed, do not assume you need to fix everything at once. Start with where you sit. Then look for the sightlines. Add layers where the yard feels too open. Create a sense of enclosure around the spaces you actually use. And when you choose plants, choose them for the job they need to do, not just how they look on the nursery bench. A more private backyard does not have to be complicated. It just has to be intentional. Well, there you have it. I hope this video has given you some ideas on how to tackle your privacy issues in your yard. Don't forget to download the free Flower Bed Clarity Guide I created for you if you haven't already. More free guides coming very soon. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep getting your hands dirty. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to Garden Guru, and I'll see you in the next one.